What's up, guys and gals? Welcome to Effin' Ingenious. I'm Eric Harrison. You demanded it, so here it is. We're going to redo our Friday the 13th franchise review. Update this sucker. Starting, of course, with the original that started it all, Friday the 13th from 1980.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Friday the 13th. You may only see it once, but that will be enough. Friday the 13th. Rated R.
Released in 1980 and written by Victor Miller, produced and directed by Sean Cunningham, the story of Friday the 13th is basically about a doomed camp in which people either die by accident or they're taken out one by one by a mysterious killer. I believe it's like the first movie that made the slasher kind of a popcorn movie. It was fun at the same time while still shocking you. And that definitely is one of the reasons for the massive success of this movie, is because they brought fun to the horror genre. As Sean Cunningham himself talks about it, he wanted Friday the 13th to be more like a roller coaster ride. It's like an amusement park ride. It's like when you get on your little cart and you go through the haunted house and shit pops up and it's like you jump a little bit, but then you laugh because it's fun. So that's definitely what Friday the 13th is meant to be. This was inspired by the success of Halloween. So what they did was took kind of the formula of some teenagers, drugs and alcohol, and a killer, taking them out one by one, slashing them up. Instead of as much suspense as Halloween has, they took the formula and then added the kills, which, as you know, I consider the cherry on the top. It's like, it's what we were going to the movies to see back in the 80s. The makeup effects at the time, helmed by Tom Savini, were very impressive. You know, we had not seen anything like that before, except for one or two movies in the 70s. So throughout the whole 80s, the slasher genre became so popular because we, the audience, we wanted to see the kills. We wanted to see how the effects were done. Back then, to us, it looked so real and it was amazing. So that's what this movie definitely brought to the table. They're like, you know what, look, we'll take the formula and we'll put the slasher in, but we're going to give something that's going to make these people talk, and that's exactly what it did. You know, I'm sure people were talking for the next week after this movie came out about, dude, did you see how that guy got the arrow through the neck? That's fucking crazy. How did they do that? Stuff like that is what makes this movie and this whole series awesome. So the movie does star, most notably, Betsy Palmer, who plays Mrs. Voorhees, Adrienne King, who plays our heroine, Alice, and you got Kevin Bacon in there in one of his first roles. Then we have the iconic music by Harry Manfredini. As soon as you hear it, you know that's Friday the 13th. And they do mention, they say in like interviews and stuff, they talk about how they kept the music to a minimum except for the points when you see the point of view of the killer in the movie, and then that's when you hear the music. And it was very much inspired by Jaws, because you would hear, you know, the Jaws music whenever Jaws was lurking around, and you kind of see through Jaws' point of view once in a while. And I think it works. I really like when a movie doesn't have to have a lot of music. That's something, I guess I'm a minimalist when it comes to film. I like stuff to be minimal. I don't want things to be too overdone. Like, keep the music out most of the time, that's fine. That actually helps me to get into the movie. Like, I feel like I'm at the camp with these characters because I don't hear movie music playing, distracting me. So that's awesome. The other thing I really like about this movie, after having watched it again just the other night, is I really noticed, I was like, there's a lot of long, continuous takes, and I love that. Again, it's the minimalist approach. You don't always need to it just be like cut, insert shot, cut away, cut, different angle, close up. It doesn't need to be like rapid fire the way fucking movies are today. They're just rapid fire editing, and it's because, you know, people don't have the attention spans that we used to, I guess. Towards the end of the movie, when Alice is like the last person left, you really can feel the isolation in the movie, and she knows something's up, something's been going on, people have just kind of been disappearing. She finds herself alone trying to make some coffee to distract herself in one of the cabins, but it's quiet, it's dark, she's alone. You really fucking feel the isolation, and you can see it in her eyes that she's like, this is not right, something's not right, and you feel it while watching the movie. You're like, this damn right, something ain't right. This is too quiet and creepy. So this movie was shot in and around the Blairstown and Hope, New Jersey. And then Camp Crystal Lake for this movie is actually a real Boy Scout camp in New Jersey called Camp Novi Bosco. This is the only, Friday, right? This is the only one that has this camp. They always say in all the rest of the installments it's Camp Crystal Lake, but it doesn't look the same, and I missed this camp. This was the best one. It looked real, it looks unassuming, it looks innocent, but when the night falls it can get creepy, you know what I mean? But during the day you just kind of feel comfortable, and I think that's a good thing. You should feel comfortable, because that's when the killer jumps up, then it shocks you even more, because you're not on edge, because there's crazy lighting or it looks like a horror movie or anything like that. So real shame that they couldn't seem to get the same camp for the rest of the installments, because it really does look vastly different from movie to movie. Especially the further into the installments you get, it starts to look like, ew, this can't be Crystal Lake. This doesn't look at all like Crystal Lake. They definitely seem to have tried to put a bunch of red herrings in the movie, because the whole point of keeping the killer a mystery was to shock you at the end when you find out who it is. So throughout the movie you can tell that they set up red herrings. They wanted you to think, could it be this guy because he's got the machete and he's looking kind of evil? Could it be Mr. Christie himself because he drives a Jeep, and we already saw that whoever the killer is happens to drive a Jeep. They try and throw you off so that then when it's revealed at the end who the killer is, I would imagine that blew audiences away back then. Here I am trying not to spoil a 34-year-old fucking movie. It was Mrs. Voorhees, okay? Oh shit, I gave it away. But when you see that, I would imagine back in 1980, you just watched all this brutal killing for an hour and a half, and then you're like, this sweet old lady is the one that did it. It was probably like, what? That's twisted. This would have been a standalone movie. Well, no, that's not true. It probably would have got sequels no matter what. But I think we have to give credit to Tom Savini that kind of sent it in a certain direction with the franchise when he suggested that they bring Jason back for a final jump scare at the end of the movie, because that was not originally written in the script. It really was just going to end after she cuts off Mrs. Voorhees' head. It was really just going to end there. No doubt they would have got sequels, but can you imagine? It would never have turned into what it has if it was not for Tom Savini bringing Jason back. So, man, I give him props. Even though Victor Miller is not so happy about it, the guy that wrote the movie, he didn't want sequels, and he didn't want Jason coming back. But, come on, man. I love it. So, alright, guys, let's give this sucker a rating. I find that after 34 years of watching this movie, I enjoy it more and more with each viewing. It actually just gets better for me. I'm going to give it 4.5 out of 5 stars. Pretty damn good. And if for whatever reason you've been living under a rock and you've never seen Friday the 13th, please go watch it now. Enjoy. Alright, I'll catch you guys on the next review. That's going to be Friday 2. See you there. Fridays. Das 13th. So, Forrest Gump. Friday the 13th. Run, Alice, run. Okay, shut up. Fucking ingenious.